Hi guys, Blake and Jackson here today with Lilley's Landing Resort and Marina on beautiful upper Lake Taneycomo. It is Friday, June the 25th, I think, and we are going to do the one cast for you today. So today I boated up here. I'm starting just right above outlet 2. We're going to kind of drift the center, focus on this flat over here, kind of more towards the north bank. I got my 5-weight fly rod out here with me today. I've got a size 16 rainbow, light shade rainbow dubbing scud, and a light gray 14. That's a AAA size split shot. We've got about 12 inches between those and about 8 inches between the scuds. And I'm gonna have this set about as deep as I can go here today. I'm using the, oh, if it doesn't run away from me, airlock indicator. That is the medium sized one. I'm gonna go ahead and get myself off spot lock. Okay. I'm just going to kind of flip this back and forth until I get going with the current here. So, last few days have been warm. Today it's a little cooler actually. We've got some cloud cover rolling in over the top of us, and I think that they're calling for some chances of rainstorms for like the next week. I think the higher percentage chance of rain is for the next few days, but there's chances in the all the way to the 15-20% range through the end of next week.
Right there you'll get one.
Good. Oh, let's see. We got some good fishing reports from this morning. Captain Dwayne Doty, they had 3 fish over 20 inches this morning in their boat on his guide trip. They had a 21-inch rainbow, a 23-inch brown. Both of those were on the Signature Series jerkbaits early this morning. And then, right at the end of the trip, drifting a scud, right here actually by outlet 3, they landed a 25-inch rainbow. So great morning for them. I believe somewhere along the line, Captain Tony Lilley, on his guide trip this morning, they landed a rainbow over 20 inches, and I don't know what they were using. I actually didn't get to talk to him. I just heard that report from Captain Jeremy Rasnick. Captain Jeremy said that the nightcrawler bite was fair to middling this morning. Still managed to come back with their limits of fish, but he said it wasn't completely on fire. And then Captain Jeremy said after they got their limits of fishing the boat for the night crawlers, they came up here and drifted scuds. Said the scud bite was great. got about 11 foot of leader from my indicator down to my last fly here. I'm really thinking I may have got moss on the end of this. So I'm gonna pull it in and just make sure. And sure enough, there's the moss. No fish on the first cast here. Get that moss off of there and hopefully find a fish. Let's see, this morning they started off at 75 megawatts, which is about a unit and a half, instead of the 2 units that they've been starting off in the mornings with. I think they're up to 2 units now, and they're supposed to run this 2 units all day today. Captain Jeremy told me that he'd been primarily sticking to the size 16 scuds, and everyone else's reports have been 14s or 16s. I'm gonna pull that in again and check for moss. I think I'm picking up some moss. Well, we're good that time. I'm gonna get all the way in over here along this south bank. So while I was drifting over that flat, I should have checked my scuds for moss sooner. They say they've been catching a lot of fish on that flat where I didn't catch a fish, but it was because I had moss on my scuds the whole time. So even with the 2 units that are running now, you still need that 11 to 12 foot of leader to be able to get to the bottom and all the spots from here, even down to the narrows. Today would probably be one of those days to concentrate on a small area, like, you know, drifting outside of that flat and then driving right back over the top of it. But we're just gonna drift on down the lake and see if we can find them on the scud through here. I talked to Captain Dwayne just a second ago. He was up here on a second trip and he's still drifting scuds, 14s and 16s, and said that they're doing good. If I was smart and took that moss off there, I might have found one up there on that flat. I'm thinking it's about time to find something to eat. I am pretty hungry. Oh, that was a fish. Dang it. One of the easiest methods for casting these double scud rigs out whenever you're using that super long leader is to do the water load, where you bring the rig back, bring it up to 10 o'clock, kind of pull some of that line off the water, flip it, let it land on the water behind you, and then flip it forward again. Right now we are really close to the big sycamore tree that's down in the water, that's just right above the boat ramp over here on the north side. This flat right here can sometimes be a really great spot for dragging scuds. All the way down past the island. Just gonna pull it in. I'm all messed up about the moss now. Nope, no moss. I think that when the storm system moves in tonight, it's supposed to cool the temperatures down, low 80s for the next few days, so that'll be a nice break. And I am just not having any luck on the scuds today. I know they're working. Something interesting to note, had some guys from Mississippi staying at the dock this week, and their first couple of days fishing off the dock, they were just using 4-pound tests for their leaders, and they weren't catching anything. And one of the guys told me last night that he switched to 2-pound test for his leader, and he finally caught his first trout and then limited out off the dock. So it's possible that we're starting to get to that time of the year where you need to use some lighter line in order to get the presentation right. Oh wow, got a lot of moss that time. Well, it is totally possible that I did not set this up with the right weight. I'm starting to think that maybe this AAA weight that I put on here was just a little too heavy based on the way that I've been dragging moss up. If you get the weighting right, you really shouldn't drag moss up like I have been. So I'm thinking that maybe I should have went with a little bit lighter weight. And that's just something you got to play with out here. Sometimes whenever it says 2 units, the CFS itself might vary by a few hundred on the range of things. And sometimes that difference can be the difference between using a AAA weight or an AB weight. And that's just something you gotta take into consideration. If I was out here fishing, for longer, I probably would have been playing around with those weights. But generally when it says they're running 2 units, that AAA weight, just one of those, is about right for me. But it's looking like maybe the water's running just a touch slower. Hey, there we go. I do get to see what a fish looks like today, maybe. And he took the size 16, just like Jeremy was saying. Come on. All right. There we go. Had to work for him a little bit, but there is a fish. So the things I would have done different today would have been a slightly smaller weight, like the one that I'm using right now is that AAA, which is 0.8 grams, and an AB is 0.6. And sometimes just that little minute difference is the difference between ticking the bottom too hard and doing it just right. So you can take a note from that when you're out here and you feel like you're pulling up too much moss with your scuds underneath the indicator, and just adjust the amount of weight in small amounts until you find the right drift. This flat we're going over right now, once again, is the flat that still continues out from that sycamore tree down there, goes down along the island here before a trophy run, and it is a really great flat, especially for scuds. Oh, that was a fish. I heard a report from somebody coming up the lake that, ooh, that was another fish, that jigs were working great today. And oh my gosh, one of our boats that just came back in, well, sorry, not just came back in, but came back in last night, They fished Jigs down by, there he is. They fished Jigs down by Short Creek all day yesterday, and they came back with some really healthy fish. This one is definitely a healthier fish, and he may have taken the size 14 there. Nope, he took the 16 too. See if I can net him while I'm spot locked here. He's kind of big. Oh, nope. Lost him. Well, that was probably about a 16 or 17 inch rainbow there. I think if I was going to come up here today and really concentrate my efforts, I would work on this flat from that sycamore tree down to the end of this island, and I'd work from outlet 2 down to where the big hole started. You can fish the big hole successfully with scuds, but that's kind of a thing where you'd need to have maybe 13 foot of leader on. This is the only problem about tandem scuds. They get stuck in the net and then they break off, and it is a mess. Thanks! There's another one there. No, I'll keep him on there. That's Captain B next to me. He's out on a trip right now. We'll go just right to the end of the island here today. If I can get my fly line off of my life jacket before it pulls the cord on me. Now I'll tell you what, sometimes when the wind is right, it's almost better to kind of let your boat go sideways and cast your indicator straight upstream. If the wind's not slowing you down and making you catch up with it, everything's drifting just right. It seems like keeping that tension straight back instead of having to mend your line seems to work a little better. Oh no! Alright, well, I definitely got them biting on this flat. I just couldn't master the other flat today. We have officially gone past the end of the island right before lookout, or before trophy run. This little section in here can be really good too, but it does start to drop off and get quite a bit deeper. But I think we're gonna go ahead and call the video there today. We appreciate you guys watching. Like and share us on Facebook, and we'll get back out here and do it for you again tomorrow. Thanks, guys.